Emancipation, in general, is freeing someone from the control of another. The fact or the process of being free from legal, social, or political restrictions. The word appeared most memorable in the Emancipation Proclamation, Abraham Lincoln's order of 1863 that freed enslaved people in the US. President Abraham Lincoln issued the Emancipation Proclamation on January 1, 1863, as the nation approached its third year of bloody civil war. The proclamation declared that all persons held as slaves within the rebellious states are and henceforward shall be free. Emancipation can describe any kind of liberation. Narrowing it down to emancipation of women. Is there any woman or man who does not love freedom? Freedom is the birthright of every human being. Even beasts and birds love freedom. All lives thrive best when they are free. Freedom and responsibility bring out the best from the individuals and the race. Therefore, did we Indians do penance all these years to free India from foreign yoke? We welcome the day of independence for India because freedom for India means freedom for every man and women and children. The emancipation of women has always been closely bound up with the struggle for political freedom. In the early history of India, the women walked the earth equal to men. But the foreign invasion 1,000 years ago drove them into a long exile. They have to face men who neither spared life nor honor. And in adapting themselves to a changing environment, they passed into pardas and burning fire. But the fire smoldered all the same witness Padmini of Chittoor, Chand Bibi, and the Rani of Jhansi. World history moved on. British came into India, bringing with it Western thoughts and ideas. Western contact began to influence India. Men like Raja Ram Mohan Roy rose who took up the cause of women's reforms and emancipation. It is sort of fashionable to talk about feminism and women emancipation these days. Everybody seems to have an opinion on how a woman's life would and should be. Social media, TV debates, and drawing rooms are latest battlegrounds of the war of sexes. Films play a major part in our lives. It is not just seen as an entertainment medium. The 100 years of Indian cinema has been representing our lifestyle, where directors like V. Shantaram used films as a tool to initiate women emancipation from the early 20th century, even before Indian independence. As a producer, his films dealt with social, economic, and political problems of a society struggling under the colonial rule, and later as a country trying to establish its place as a nation. Shantaram's film Amar Jyoti was a new form in 1936, which was about a queen who became a sea pirate when she is denied the custody of her son because of the patriotic laws of the kingdom. Disguised as a custom adventure, the film raised a voice in support of women's emancipation. Amarjyoti was a new style of filmmaking and a new grammar of Indian cinema. The theme was fresh. It was only a preparation for Shantaram's final glorious half a decade to come, 1937 to 1942, when three of his finest films of social relevance would emerge. The first of these three films was Kunku, Marathi or Duniya Na Mane, Hindi in 1937, based on a successful novel by Narayana Hari Apte, centering around the implicit dual theme of a May to December 2nd marriage and women's emancipation, where Keshav Rao played the aged husband who marries a young girl, Shanti Apte, who refuses to give in his demand to consummate the marriage, preferring to suffer social surround over injustice. The next film, Manus, in Marathi or Admi in Hindi, was based on an unusual theme, a honest policeman's love for a prostitute and his attempts to rehabilitate her. It is often said that Shantaram made the film as a counterpoint to the wave of romantic depression sweeping the young of the country following the popularity of the Hindi film Devdas. To realize the efficacy of the film media, Shantaram used cinema as an instrument of a social change and used it successfully to advocate humanism and women emancipation. In an era of 1920s and 30s, while everyone in the film industry was concentrating on mythologies and historicals, Shantara made films with a contemporary comment. He did not write a single screenplay, yet his film scripts were unique. The film directors in the 1940s and 50s had selected works of fictions as their natural base to convert them intersymmetrically to write their screenplays and upheld women's cause with a great empathy. They had given ample screen space to the women subjects and focused towards the woman protagonist in their stories they would weave. Knowingly or unknowingly, these movies had shown streaks of feminism in nature. These movies evoked positive reaction among people as they saw their known or read stories come alive. In India, cinema forms a part of the social, economical, and political context. It holds a strategic importance as a cultural phenomenon, which obviously takes into account the rapid development in the production and consumption of cultural products. Representation of women has evolved in a different way across the globe with respect to the film industry. There had been certain films in Indian cinema which represent women in enhancing roles, especially in Tamil film industry. K. Balachandar broke the stereotype in Tamil film industry in 1970s, where he showcased women of steel with hearts of gold. It was revolution in the Tamil film industry of 1970s when Janaki, the IAS officer in Iru Kodugal, stormed the screen. Aval Oru Thodarkadai is one among K. Balachandar's many gems. The ace filmmaker excelled in the art of portraying his female characters in a non stereotypical, new age kind of way. He named most of his films after female characters. His films like Sindhu Bhairavi, Kalki portrayed emancipation of women. In the present days, films like Iraivi, Muppattaru Vayadinile, Aruvi give spirit to the woman to survive against the judgmental society in a whole new level of women emancipation.